Okay, welcome. So today I want to talk about this idea of I want out. I'll talk about overwhelm, burnout, and 5 strategies that we can use when we are feeling like we want out. So, enjoy. So, I wanted to offer some reflections today, and I've been making these reflections on and off for the last few years. A lot of people are struggling at the moment. Things seem to be intensifying. In the West, in the world, things are speeding up. There's the cost of living crisis, prices are going up, things are getting more challenging. And whether you're a business owner, whether you're an executive, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teenager, the pressures are increasing. Noticed this last couple of years with teenagers. I work as a scout leader, and in the past, exam times, they would still come on the Friday night. Now they've stopped coming when they're doing exams. All of their focus is on their exams. So just things are tightening up. So what I want to do is just share these 5 ideas now. First idea is really, the harder it gets, the first thing is the more I practice my protocols and fundamentals. Okay? So what this means is that often what happens is it's difficult, life's hard, I want out, and we abandon what we know really works for us. When we're tapped in, tuned in, turned on, we're in that great space, we do certain things. Often when we're starting to feel overwhelmed, burned out, we're like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with the exercise. I can't be bothered with going to bed early. I'm just going to stay up, watch Netflix. And while, that's fine from time to time, if we're doing it when we're already burned out, when we're not in a good space, it can spiral us downwards. So that's the first thing really, is the more you feel down and you're not in a good space, the more you practice your protocols. So for me, that might be to walk for 6,000 steps. It might be to run. It will be to get in bed about 9:30. Have at least 8.5, 9 hours in bed, sleeping. It would be spending time with my wife, spending time with friends. It would also be things like just keeping on top of my eating a clean, healthy diet, lots of vegetables, a little bit of meat, a little bit of fish. So it's like making sure we do those things. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I love this little practice called traffic lights. It comes from the sports coach Brian Cain, and he uses it more for professional sports people. They will be might be on a pitch playing baseball or American football, and you notice, right, am I green, good to go, I'm in a good space? Am I amber, meaning things are starting to slow down, or red, actually I'm not in a good space? And I think this is a really good thing to check out when you want out, is often we've gone into red, and our work is, what will help me to get back into green? We go back to point number 1. It could be any one of those things, of the fundamentals. Exercise really helps us to feel better. For me, it's a practice I've started to do every day. Is, am I in green? How am I feeling? I might be remembering a beautiful memory. It might be some laughter, some smiling, big cuddle and a kiss with my wife. Whatever it might be to help me to shift back into green. So that would be the second thing, is traffic light. Where am I? It's just mindfully, where am I? Meeting and then changing. Meeting, changing. Yeah? And, and that kind of links into the I want out. actually, if we can just bring some mindfulness to that moment. This is what I feel. Okay, I want out. This is how it feels in my body. This opens up what Bessel van der Kolk and the trauma experts, the traumatologists say, this window of tolerance. For those who've been through trauma, it's quite narrow. And what we want to do is we want to start expanding it. How? By mindfulness. Feeling when we're on the top end or the bottom end, I feel overwhelmed. This is how it feels. So, and that links into the traffic lights. You just meet, bring mindfulness. This is how I feel. I'm in red. Again, great. Shift it back to green. Third thing, practice, is to put your phone down. I went off for a retreat 2 weeks ago, and for 10 days I didn't look at my phone, wasn't even on. Since I've come back, I'm using it very rarely. So I'm recording this on my phone, but usually it's off or in airplane mode. I use my computer to look at WhatsApp or Messenger, my email, rather than using my phone. The end of the evening, it's off, 5:30, I leave it up in the office. So what this does is that, we get overwhelmed, we get burnt out because ping, ping, we never can switch off. And I think it's really important to be on, but we need to oscillate on, oscillate off. We need to play hard and we need to rest hard. Most of us, if we are wanting out, we're not resting hard. And sometimes we need the boundaries to say to others, no, I'm not available. No, I need to take care of myself. And it's difficult because some people expect us to give even when we have nothing. And it's important for us to start putting those boundaries down. So that's the third thing. Put your phone down. After a certain time, have it off. The fourth thing that I found really powerful for when you're feeling like I want out, or you're overwhelmed, you're burnt out, is to see that younger part. Feel that within you. Okay, I feel burned out at the moment, and put that younger part outside of you. I liken this to the iceberg effect. We're triggered in the moment by something which is happening in our life, children, school, work, relationships, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lifetime of trauma or unlived experience which is underneath that we've not processed. So by just seeing that part outside of you, loving that part, and what I do is I tap on the points, I get my clients to tap on the point. I love you. Thank you. You are the triggered part at the moment. And what that does is that separates you and gives you a bit of distance to open your heart. Otherwise, it's like the wounded part of you's here, and it does feel totally overwhelmed. The fifth part, and I spoke a bit about the inner critic last week, is when we want out, often we've got that inner critic. God, I want out. God, this is too hard. I can't cope. I worked corporately before I moved into coaching work. And I remember one time it was really stressful. I just had this internal dialogue. I can't cope. It's too much work. It just made things that much worse. So the invitation is to write these blurts, as Julia Cameron from The Artist's Way said, write them down and then change them around. I can't cope becomes I cope wonderfully well. There's too much work becomes there's just enough work. So what happens is the body relaxes. I want out becomes okay, I need some time off and I will do that in a moment, or whatever it is. I haven't thought about that one. So those are 5 ideas really for how to deal with overwhelm when you really want out. And often if we've had childhood trauma, it is exacerbated. It's the tip of the iceberg, we've got everything underneath. So it's really important to either work with someone or to just see that part outside of you. He's wounded, tap, breathe with him, love him, bring mindfulness, opening up that window of tolerance. So bless you. I've got lots of podcasts lined up. Got Alan Clements next week, who's an amazing meditation teacher, Dharma teacher. I've also got Jane Evans talking about polyvagal theory, childhood trauma, going live on Friday. And I've got 2 more interviews on Friday as well about trauma, sexuality, and men's work and addiction. So yeah, lots of great conversations. So any questions, please do let me know below. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, you enjoy these, I put these live every Wednesday, and I also do a podcast most Fridays at the moment, but it's usually every 2 weeks. So please do subscribe, like these videos, and share. The only way I really reach more people is through you guys sharing, so I really appreciate your help. And yeah, bless you. Any questions, let me know. Bye for now.